All right, Alico 3, we've got about 40 to 50 cards. I think around 10 didn't even get slabbed. So these were shipped off Valentine's Day. The price was expensive on these, so I was pretty selective on the stuff I was going to send in. So off we go. You guys can assess the grades and tell me what you think about them. This is cool because it's the gold and it's got a nice swatch. So 04 Spa, tough set here. And the Steven Jackson pulls an 8, which is pretty good. These sign of these players inks, pretty much any white on the back gets you an 8 now. Back in the day, this would have been more like an 8.5 or a 9, but the scale's tightened up. Half grades have been pretty much eliminated, so this would be a perfect tweener for an 8.5, but those are off the table. Breeze Refractor. It's actually a nice looking 8. If you bought this card and it came in, you'd be like, damn. You'd be very pleased with that one. This was snapped from a Beckett, I think, but I thought it had a chance at a 10. There's not a lot that can go wrong with this set. If you look at the back, sometimes you'll see a little white on the red corner, but aside from that, I mean, it's pretty much a tough card stock. So this is one that I thought could definitely get a 10, but it got a 9. Oh well. This is tilted top to bottoms off. So this bottom border is really skinny and that top's really thick. So an 8 totally makes sense on this one. So the Vic black to 100 gets an 8. This is Brady Silver. This is another one I thought had a chance at a 10, just because it's the centering's definitely within tolerance all around, and the back's clean. So I mean, this could easily be a 10 as well. But I don't think there were many 10s at all in this order. This is another one that was kind of, I think I had it rated as a 9.5 just because the back's, pretty much pristine. But your front, I mean, you're really splitting hairs. There's a little white on that edge right there if you look close. But I'm sure you could pull a 10 of this card and find some white. So, again, that's another one. I mean, that's a really strong 9. That's one I would just keep in the collection. Stafford, I think the print on this is 500 or 600, but the Stafford ticket, these have dropped somewhat since the fall. So probably a decent time to get one of these. There's a lot of hype after the Super Bowl, and then when it's over, it kind of dies down and people move on to other sports or cards. So that card's taken somewhat of a hit. Maybe it'll bounce back. This is another one that, I thought looked good enough to probably be a 10. I don't think it's 50-50 centered right to left. Top to bottom looks close, but it's like 55-45. So that's the hollow of the rookies from Optic 17. This is one that did get a 10, so this is one that I thought would probably get a 10 if they were going to grade it fairly. That was like a Beckett 9.5 True Gem Plus, I think, but it's centered up and there's no issues really, so that one should be a 10 all day. Here's some stuff that didn't get graded. So apparently they are measuring cards now, just not 21 Contenders football. This was that I had pretty high hopes for that one. The Wade SPX. So they're saying it's minimum size requirement on all these. So I don't know. I don't think they're trimmed. Yeah, this one was kind of, they questioned the authenticity on this Bonds. I'll have to take a closer look at it, but it's a legacy collection. It looked real, but I don't know. And this one, it says trimmed, but they left. You're going to trim a card and leave like a white corner on there. It doesn't make a lot of sense. So I honestly doubt that was really trimmed. So there's those. So I mean, it's disappointing when you send off 50 cards and 10 don't even get graded. Kind of takes the steam out of my sales here. Definitely lost some momentum and enthusiasm the last few months. There's a cracked ice Alvin. What else we got? So your Moss Spa, again, there's a little white on the back, so the front's really good. I can't see the front scratching, but this is more like an 8.5. That's why you have that on your scale. This Vic Gold, so Bowman Chrome Gold, an 8. So there's a lot of 8s in this order. A couple of these LTs, there's some small dimples on the front there. Probably some light scratching as well. So this one got an 8. Crazy shine on that puppy. Here, let's do these ones. This stack is all cards that came in a little bit lower than I thought. So I'll have to look at these closer and kind of see what's going on with these. But this is the Rogers Class Marks autograph, gets an 8. It is definitely off center, right to left. This one got a 7. You know, if you guys watch the channel, you know I do a lot of work with this card. So I was a little shocked by a 7 on this. I sift through a lot of these, and there's a lot that I just choose not to send in that, you know, I think would come back a 7. This is one I thought was more 8.5, 9 range when I sent that one in. This Arenado, this is one I thought was a 10. You know, I'm just going by standards, you know. Right to left, top to bottom's on. The surface was clean. It's a thick cardstock card. There's not much else that can go wrong with it unless you have a bad scratch across the front. So this one should be a 10. This Finest. So this has that deckled edge look to it. So you could probably find a flaw with this card if you tried hard enough. But the Gold Refractor Manning to 200. That's a neat little card. So that's interesting one. We've got this Calvin Johnson. There's a little white there. The centering's close to 50-50. So I'm pretty sure the surface is clean too. So that little white cost to move the card to an 8. So it is strict grading. Here's what I'm talking about. So this was one that I thought looked great because it had good center and the back was pretty clean. You know, the back's off-centered somewhat, but I know PSA isn't as tough on that one. And I thought this one had a chance at a 9, so I snapped it. It came back at 7, which to me was baffling. I'll look at this one closer, but I don't think this is a 7 at all. Maybe I could snap it, send it in, and get like a 10. Start 8. It's tough to get an 8 on this card. So there's the Manning. I'm going to make a stack of these ones because I want to look at these ones closer. But, I mean, at this point, is it worth it even snapping them out and trying again? I mean, it's $50 a card now. It's not $12 like it used to be. It's just a big headache doing this now. 7.5 on the gold. You know, these all have shipping for the most part. This was a really clean one. This was a BCCG 10, I think, that I thought would at least get an 8, but it got a 7.5. So I guess there was one card that was a tweener. This Endorsements got pulverized. It's thicker, so take off 1 grade. It's kind of a neat card. Exquisite Endorsement Stafford. This was an SGC 10. I just looked at this one. Maybe it's centering. I'm sure somebody will say, oh, it's off-centered or something, but this is one I thought was for sure a 10. SB Game Used to 100. Durant. Got the Moss Refractor 8. This is the negative. Gets a 9. Tatis. Whoops. Players Inc. Again, there's a little white on the back. Let's check the front corners. The slightest tip of there, and that's an 8. Another thick card. This Peterson got an 8 as well. That's the SPX. I call it Spectrum. Okay, so this might be the best card in the order. Finest Harper got a 10. 50. There's some other Harpers too. This one got a 9. That's the Bowman Chrome Gold to 50. This was actually an SGC 6.5 that I thought looked way better. So sometimes SGC freaks out on the vintage and just gets a little too tough. And this was one of those examples where I thought this card was much better than a 6.5. Moss 98 Bowman. That's the blue. That one got a 9. Curry gets a 9. That's Topps 2009. See, it's got some white right there. Looks about like those Mosses, but this, I mean, it looks worse actually. But this one got a 9 somehow. Could have passed for an 8. Gold Harper 9. So we saw this one before, and this one also comes in with a 9. We've got the Brady Crown. Gets a 9 as well. So that's a pretty good grade for this card. That card might be over $1,000 in a 9. And then we'll round it out with this LT. So a 9 on this one as well, the refractor. So overall, I mean, the order wasn't very good for the amount of the cost it was to get all these cards graded. It's expensive. So that's it for this one. Comment if you want later.